South Dakota is a small state, but it's a very patriotic state. Aside from all the agriculture and farming, all of the hunting, the beautiful national parks, from Mount Rushmore to the reservations to Crazy Horse, all the way over to Rapid City, we celebrate our men and women who served in the military. Our capital city, Pierre, has a beautiful lake called Capitol Lake right in front of our Capitol building, and it's a memorial for the men and women who died in World War II, Korea, Vietnam. It's also the same place I got married. It's a special place to me. We've dedicated and built beautiful memorials for our hometown heroes, and also celebrate the men and women who received the Medal of Honor and paid the ultimate price. Medal of Honor recipient or not, story and their valor should be known. In the Marine Corps, they say every Marine is a rifleman, but not every rifleman is a Marine. Part of the rifleman's creed that always sticks out. Before God, I swear this creed, my rifle and myself are the defenders of my country. We are the masters of our enemy. We are the saviors of my life. So be it until victory is America's, but there is no enemy, but peace. Private First Class Herbert A. Littleton from Spearfish, South Dakota, was a true rifleman. The original Captain America jumped on a grenade in Korea, saved his men. Forever he should be remembered. And this one is his story. In the year 1930, the United States was going through the Great Depression. All of the farmers in the Midwest were experiencing famine and lots of crop issues due to the giant Dust Bowl. Bank robbers were driving across state lines after robbing banks, and the Volstead Act was still in effect since 1919. It was also the year that Herbert Littleton was born in Mena, Arkansas. A lot of the agriculture jobs were scarce, however there was a lot of jobs mining in the hills. In search of work, his family had moved up to the hills, Black Hawk, South Dakota. Littleton had attended elementary school in Spearfish, South Dakota. Later on, he would move to high school in Sturgis, South Dakota, where he played basketball and football. He was employed as an electrical appliance serviceman by an electrical appliance company in Rapid City, South Dakota. While living in Black Hawk, Littleton enlisted in the United States Marine Corps Reserve on July 29th of 1948 for a one-year term and took recruit training in San Diego, California. He graduated on October 2nd and afterwards completed the Marine Corps Field Telephone Course. He was assigned as a telephone man and message center man with the Signal Battalion at Camp Pendleton. He was honorably discharged at Camp Pendleton with the rank of Private First Class on July 28th of 1949. On July 29th, he re-enlisted in the Marine Corps, and in 1950 he moved to Nampa, Idaho, and worked as a lineman for the Mountain States Telephone and Telegraph. After the outbreak of the Korean War in June of 1950, Littleton was called to active duty in September. In the Marine Corps, they rely on speed, mobilization, and communication. The Marine Signal Battalion provides this. The Marine Signal Battalion is a unit that provides signal intelligence, electronic warfare, and other communication support. The United States Signal Corps was responsible for providing communications during the Korean War. They used radio, codes, and encryption to keep the lines open and protect military secrets. They used VHF radio. Signal Corps' radio was the backbone of tactical communications, codes, and encryptions. Signal Corps helped pioneer the use of codes, signal encryption to protect military secrets, radar, using track shells and plot their flight paths back to enemy areas. Telephone lines were also strung to link individual efforts into a master plan. Hand radios were used to snap battle orders. After the outbreak of the Korean War in June of 1950, Littleton was called to active duty in September. He then trained at Camp Pendleton and was sent to Korea on the 3rd replacement draft. On December 17th, he was assigned as a radio operator with a 4-man artillery forward observation team for Item Battery, 3rd Battalion, 11th Marine Regiment, 1st Marine Division. Private First Class Littleton in the artillery unit had participated in a campaign hitting all the different battlefields throughout Central and South Korea. Private First Class Littleton, however, would become famous from what would take place April 22nd, 1952 near Hill 44. Private First Class Littleton earned the nation's highest military award for valor on April 22nd, 1951 on Hill 44 in the Chunshin, South Korea, by deliberately falling upon and smothering an enemy grenade which exploded that was one of the many thrown at the team's forward observation post. While his observation team was serving with C Company, 1st Battalion, 7th Marines. By doing so, he saved the lives of 3 other Marines, including the officer and forward observer in charge of Littleton's team during the early morning enemy counterattack on C Company. He also prevented the radio from being damaged by taking it off before he was killed. The radio was used afterwards to direct artillery fire in order to repulse the Chinese attack during the battle to take the hill. His memorial services were held October 17, 1951, Nampa, Idaho. Littleton was the 16th Marine to receive the Medal of Honor in Korea. He was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Harry S. Truman in 1952, and his parents were presented with the medal on August 19th of 1952. Lost his life at 21, but saved 3 other Marines. Thank you for your service.